This is a beetle that has become a spirit. The moment it opened its eyes, it saw its fellow cars crushed into pancakes. Scared out of its wits, it shuddered and immediately let out a fart, which happened to spray right onto the used car dealer's face. The staff quickly tried to calm the boss down, saying this car just has that kind of personality. Maybe it's a bit cursed. The boss was furious when he heard this. He refused to believe in such nonsense, and directly wanted to drag the beetle to the scrapyard. But his newly changed leather shoes got peed on again with a shoe full of motor oil. Now the boss was completely enraged. He was determined to tear it into pieces. But the beetle refused to come down no matter what. It even opened its doors to jam against the pillars on both sides. The boss used all his strength, but couldn't move it even a bit. Just then, the beetle caught sight of a car slipping away ahead, so it immediately came back to life, hit the gas and flew away. Before the boss could react, he was dragged 200 meters away. Just when it thought it was about to escape, its rear wheel hit some metal sheeting. Bang! The tire blew out and the car broke down on the spot. Just then a girl came to buy a practice car. The beetle desperately blinked its headlights, even excitedly started its engine, wanting to rush into the girl's arms, but missing two wheels, it could only rev in place, unable to move an inch. Soon it was lifted up by a forklift. The boss wanted to send it for scrapping. The beetle panicked, frantically honking its horn, finally attracting the girl over. Unfortunately, what she fancied was the little green car next to it. The beetle's heart instantly shattered to pieces. Then it was lifted up by a crane. Seeing it was about to be crushed into a pancake, it struggled desperately, and actually managed to break free in the end. But with a thud, it landed right on top of the little green car. Now the little girl had no choice. She could only reluctantly pick the beetle. The girl paid the boss 80 yuan. After installing two wheels, the girl sat inside. Who would have thought that as soon as the key was inserted, the beetle started itself automatically, even smarter than a Tesla. The girl thought the car was haunted. She was so scared she immediately wanted to go to a repair shop for inspection. But before she could finish speaking, the beetle had already delivered itself to the repair shop, and nearly hit the mechanic. The mechanic decided to test drive it himself, to see what was wrong with this car. But once on the road, the beetle bounced around like a little rabbit, shaking him so much he kept shouting, "This car's suspension is shot, needs replacing." Then the beetle pulled another stunt. It lifted its front end, driving on just two wheels. This scene left passersby dumbfounded. To prove its worth, the beetle forcibly brought the girl to the racetrack. But the girl didn't want an uncontrollable car. She prepared to take her skateboard and leave, planning to let this crazy car fend for itself. Seeing this, the beetle could only honk to try to keep her. The girl couldn't stand it anymore. She opened the hood and directly unplugged its horn power. But right after unplugging it, the beetle spat a mouthful of motor oil at her. At this moment the mechanic happened to find a racing suit. The girl had no choice but to be forced to get in the car to change clothes. The mechanic wanted to peek through the rearview mirror, but the beetle wasn't having it. After the girl finished changing and came out, the beetle thoughtfully put the helmet on for her. When she came out again, she happened to bump into the newly appeared racing champion. The other party thought she was a fan. Without a word, signed her helmet, and said his fans shouldn't drive such a piece of junk. The beetle was furious when it heard this. Today it must teach him a lesson.